Hey, you guys. What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's doing all right. I'm hopping on here today because I'm getting a lot of people reach out to me about how they can be more food secure in the impending crisis with this new virus among us. And most of y'all know, I tend to steer away from the sadder realities that actually inspired me to farm and garden in the first place. But I really do try to lead with the positive in most cases. But also y'all know that I really do value tremendously self-sufficiency, food quality, food availability, and to develop a way to cultivate food outside of the mainstream food system. That's why I farmed, and that's why I'm vegetarian. I grow food. So, being food sovereign is important as hell for a homesteader at heart like me. And so I wanted to empower you guys to think about some things that you might be able to do now from your home to just kind of make yourself, just to kind of get a garden plan together, right? Hey, Annette. And so, a food security plan in place, right? And if you already garden, to upscale your efforts. But first, you just want to start by visualizing your property. Are you on a patio? Do you have a deck? Do you have a yard? Do you have a field? Whatever. What gets the most direct sunlight, right? And then, think about where that place is, and then go measure it so you can get an idea of how many plants you can fit there. And what you want to think about really is high yielding plants. Okay, so tomatoes, potatoes, green beans, summer squash, cucumbers, radishes. Some of those are fast germinators, but they're also high yielders. So if you can only plant a couple, it'll still be worth it. And then you can also trellis some of those too to conserve space for your climber plants, your cucumbers, pole beans, tomatoes. All right. You can also can some of that stuff, right? So also another thing to think about is storage crops, potatoes, roots, carrots, beets, cabbage, garlic, onion, sweet potatoes. So all those things have a longer shelf life than other vegetables. They don't perish as quickly. This is a fun one. Organic field corn. You can grind that field corn down and to make cornmeal. A friend of mine does it every year. Every year they have a corn shucking party, and it's just a darn good time. And so next, order a shit ton of seeds, right? That's a good approximation of how many seeds to order. That's a good number. Now, it's always better to err on it's always better to have too much seed than not enough. Full disclosure though, most seed only lasts for 2 to 3 years. It's only viable. So beyond that, you're taking a chance. So I guess don't go too crazy. And a side note, remember seed saving is amazing, but it also, it can be tricky when you have cross-pollination plants. So don't assume that if you save your seed, you're going to get the same exact strain, okay? Because some plantings need to be isolated to keep the seed in its true form. Specifically the solanaceous family, which is tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, and the cucurbit family, which is your summer and winter squashes and cucumbers. They won't cross-pollinate with each other, but just within the varieties. Okay, so go ahead and get potting mix, right? And start your seeds indoors if necessary. Some things you can start outside directly. If you don't know the difference, ask me, and I will help you identify the best method for your seed selection, or read the package. It will tell you that too. And go ahead and get your seed trays. Go ahead or get some out of your plastic recycle bin and get some seeds started for your container growing. You can get them started in little seed pots or the big pots. It doesn't matter really. Just so long as you can germinate them somewhere dark and moist and warm. Okay. Once they start to germinate and pop up, you can remove the tray from that space and get it into somewhere light. They need to go from dark to light once they germinate. And then, the cool thing about container gardening too, if you're on a patio or a deck or whatever, you have limited green space, you can move your containers around with the sun, right? So that's super sweet. If you have limited sun, you can totally move those around. And so go ahead and remove your sod and just plant every damn where you can plant, right? Fill in a spot, you'll come to love and appreciate the bounty of it. And then, and the space and what your space gives back to you. I love growing shit. And I try to lead with that. Like, it's enjoyable, it's pleasurable, it's way more healthy. It brings me some sense of security and self-sustainability and self-sufficiency, but also like peace of mind and, nutritional maximization. So anyway, lastly, just remember to plant in season, okay? Because some things grow better in the spring and fall, and then some things grow better in the summer. You can always roll the dice on that and try to extend your season out. But that's another thing I'll mention too, is like, getting some plastic down out in your yard and creating some little hoops, right, to extend your season, or something glass, right? Windows over a few bales of hay. You can put old windows that you might have and warm up that area quicker and start your seeds quicker there and have them grow. Seeds germinate quickly in warm soils. So that's just another way to do it. There's so many hacks, right? You could go get some old pallets, throw some potting soil in there and plant right through it and have like a little vertical garden in your space. You don't have to have a ton of room to just have a little something. So anyway, that's my take. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me in effort to, feel some sense of togetherness and support, and how you can try to maximize some yields in your space. So like everybody's like, I'm going to the grocery, which I definitely am too, but I'm also buying seeds, man. I'm ordering shit, I'm planting shit, just because it makes me feel better, and I love to do it anyway, right? And it's just another layer of empowerment that we can take, and that is what I'm all about, is empowering us to grow food successfully and kind of get outside of the mainstream food system, and to do it well. So if you guys need any support from me, please feel free to keep reaching out. I love you guys, and it's all going to be all right.